from Facebook. Awesome. Okay, guys, I am going to pull up. I'm excited to share with you today something new that we have never shared before, and it does have to do with mindset. But before we do that, if you can type, I know several of you are driving, so don't do that if you're driving, but type something that you are grateful for today in the chat. I have a double-edged sword of grateful. I'm grateful that it doesn't get dark at 5 o'clock anymore, which is really, really great. However, I'm struggling that it's dark until like 7:30 in the morning. However, I'd rather it be lighter in the evening. Yes, warmer weather, camping weather is here. Yep, sunshine. Everybody, this time of year, it's always the weather. I love it. Flexibility to be home with your kids, Jen. Yep, love it. Blue skies, Barb, totally agree. There's a big difference between gloomy and blue skies. So definitely makes everybody feel better. Want to remind you guys quickly of your March challenges for our group. Here's a list of them. I'm not going to run through all of them, but I actually plan on making the soup tonight. I already got everything at the store and I'm really excited about it. I know several of you have bought Win the Day. It's awesome. Linda and I just did a podcast on that, and it will be releasing, I believe, next Tuesday. Yeah, today was the interview with Jesse Cole. And so next Tuesday is our Win the Day podcast releasing, but these are all in the group if you need reminders of those. So today I'm going to share with you guys one of my very favorite books, Winning with People, and it's by Dr. John Maxwell, and it's 25 Principles for Healthy Relationships. And you might be asking yourself, what does this have to do with mindset? And the way I would answer that is, if you work with people, which a lot of us do on a daily basis, then you can realize and appreciate that how your relationships are with people really make a difference in your mindset and how you actually think and your energy and your attitude. And when you are working with people that you have great relationships with, then everything is easier. And if you aren't, then things can be more difficult. Oh, perfect. Thank you, Heather. Heather put the link for the book in the chat if you have not ordered it and you would like to. So we're going to go through these really quickly, and I just love these. So for those of you that are people of faith, I did put the Bible verse that goes with each one. If you aren't, that's totally okay too, because these apply to everyone. So number one is and let me back up. I do want you to think about, if one or two like really hit you, I would love for you to write it down or to think of the number so that you can share at the end. And they're 25, so I'll have to go kind of quick. So the first one is the lens principle. Who we are determines actually how we see ourselves. So who we are determines how we see ourselves. And that has a lot to do with kind of looking back through a lens. Number two is the mirror principle. The first person we must examine is ourselves. And as you can see, he starts with everything that has to do kind of with us first, because if we want to have a great mindset and we want to win with people, then we have to first examine ourselves. So number two is the mirror principle. The first person we must examine is ourselves. Number three is the pain principle. This is so true. Hurting people actually hurt other people, and they're also easily hurt by them. So just remember that when you are working on your mindset and you're dealing with other people, that you might come across somebody who seems difficult, and typically hurt people, and then hurt people are also easily hurt. So if you're like, man, how in the world did they get so like bent out of shape over that or offended by that? It might just be because this is the pain principle. Number four, the hammer principle. Never use a hammer to swat a fly off of someone's head. And I love this one so much. It actually makes me laugh. And I totally, John personally wrote these when you get to this one, because it sounds just like something that he would say, which is hilarious. But the purpose of this one is sometimes we're just really hard on people. And I think that in general, when we want to win with people, we need to think about being a little bit softer in our approach, instead of like coming in so hot or hard. Number five is the elevator principle. We can lift people up or we can take them down in our relationships. And I really like this one And I think when you're looking to have a really great mindset, one of the things I always think about is when you're helping other people or you're lifting other people up, your mindset is like instantly in a better place. And you know how your mindset feels when other people take you down. So I think the elevator principle is really important. Number 6 is the big picture principle. The entire population of the world, with one minor exception, is composed of others. So here's the thing. We really, really, really have to think about big picture. And sometimes we get so stuck. You can even type yes in the chat if you feel this way in today. Like, I have so much to do today and I've got to get everything done today. And you're so focused on like even today or tomorrow that we aren't necessarily thinking big picture enough and how we can win with other people in the big picture. Number 7 is the exchange principle. And John talks about this one a ton. Instead of putting others in their place, we must put ourselves in their place, meaning our place, basically. So a lot of times it's really easy for us to say, oh, well, we should just tell them how to do it, or we need to put them in their place or whatever, when really we might need to exchange that thought and bring it back on ourselves. Yeah, Josh, so true. I think that's everybody. He said, I go back and forth from big picture to back in the weeds. And that is a struggle. I see Amy shaking her head. Yes, I feel like that's a lot of people. And it is totally a struggle. That's why this reminder today for me was like, man, this is really what I needed. Number 8 is the learning principle. This is one of my favorite ones because you guys know I'm a learning junkie. Each person we meet has the potential to teach something to teach us something. And I really believe that if we think about that, that's actually one of the really great points in this book, Win the Day. And he talks about in here, when something happens, instead of being like, woe me, or, why is this happening to me? He says to say, like, what is this here to teach me? And so when you look at it from a different lens, I think the learning principle is really great. Number 9 is the charisma principle. And when you want to win with people, people are interested in the person who is interested in them. And we have to remember that. I so admired John Maxwell for one of the greatest things I think he does so well. And that is, when you are with him, you are with him. Like, even if you're in a room of 200 people, when he comes up to you, he's interested in you, And this is a very large area of opportunity for me. And I just love it. I love that he's like that. And I strive to be like that so much more, because it's so easy to be like, oh my gosh, what time is it? I got to be at my next appointment, or somebody's texting me, or, oh, there's somebody who just walked in who needs me next, and like divert your attention. But remember, people are interested in the person who's interested in them. Number 10, the number 10 principle, which that I think is funny that he just called it the number 10 principle, because it's number 10. Believing the best in people usually brings the best out in people. And when you believe great things about somebody else, remember, I don't remember who said it, but one of my favorite quotes is, other people see things in us that we may not see in ourselves. We've talked about that before on here. And that has a lot to do with number 10. Believing the best in people usually brings the best out in people. And I just think that if we can continue to do that, man, our mindsets are going to be so much better. The confrontation principle, number 11, caring for people should precede confronting people. And this actually reminded me of Fierce Conversations, for those of you that have ever read that book or have taken the course. And actually, spoiler alert, I do believe that we have the amazing Linda McKissick teaching that in Ohio in either August or September. We're finalizing the dates, but everybody is welcome to attend. So we'll send more information on that. But yeah, Amy, that's so true. The toughest one, confrontation. And it's something that everybody has to learn to get more comfortable with. But when you are thinking of confronting, if you can put caring for them first, even when it's really, really, really hard, to be honest, because you're like, there's nothing for me to care about them. I just want to confront them. You really have to think about it. And when you can do that, you're going to win with people and you're going to have a much better mindset. The bedrock principle, number 12, trust is the foundation of any relationship. And I think that that's just a given, to be honest. When you want to have a great relationship, when you want to win with people, when you want to increase your mindset, you have to begin with trust. And trust is the foundation of every relationship. And I just got another book in the mail this week from Amazon, and I read this a long time ago. And I honestly, like years and years and years ago. And it's called The Speed of Trust by Stephen Covey. And if you have any issues with trust, you should read that book, because it is really, really, really great. So I just got it again as a reminder because I couldn't find my old one and I want to flip back to it. Oh, thank you, Stephanie. That means really a lot to me. As Stephanie said, I'm good at number 11, and it's taken years and years and years, and I still have a lot of improvement to do. But the first time I was going to work with Linda, I asked her what the number one thing was that I needed to improve on to be a better leader. And she said, you need to go take fierce conversations every quarter for as long as you still need it. And so that's what I did. So thank you. And I think too, you can never be perfect at having hard conversations because it's hard, right? But when you think about the relationship is the conversation, it really, really helps. Number 13, the situation principle. Never let the situation mean more than the relationship. And that is a really important one to me because a lot of situations pop up all the time. And honestly, there's always something. And if you let the situation mean more to you than a relationship, you are not going to win with that person. You are not going to be great in your mindset. And they're not going to be great in theirs, quite frankly, either. So you just have to always remember that you can never let the situation be more than the relationship. This one made me laugh super hard. And I think this is so funny. It's called the Bob principle. And really, this is really what John calls it. So when Bob has a problem with everyone, Bob is usually the problem. And I just think that that's hilarious and yet so true. Oopsie. And you can think of people who you know who they have a problem with everyone, and they're probably the problem. So if you think about it that way, you just kind of have to know that, and you just kind of have to be okay with it, really, to be honest. But when you know that about somebody, you can win with them a little bit better. 15, the approachability principle. And yeah, Michelle said she immediately thought of a Bob. I think we all have a Bob, honestly. So yes, or maybe more than one. The approachability principle, being at ease with ourselves, help others be at ease with us. And I really love this one too, because if you think about somebody who you feel like is so approachable, meaning like just you never have an issue approaching them or going to them, you never worry about it, you never think about it, it's typically because they're at ease with themselves. And they have probably worked hard to be that way. And I think there's a lot in being approachable. The foxhole principle, this is one of my favorite ones. When preparing for battle, dig a foxhole big enough for a friend. And the whole purpose of this one is that sometimes you're going to face difficult situations in your life, or decisions, or big decisions, or all of those different things. And how great is it when you have to go into a battle when you have somebody that you know is on your side, or like they're loyal. And loyalty is actually one of my largest values, like my top 3. And so I just think that that one's so great. Dig a foxhole big enough for a friend to be there too. Number 17, the gardening principle. All relationships need cultivation. So if you want to have a great mindset and you want to win with people and you want to have great relationships, they have to be cultivated. You have to really work at them. I mean, I would think most of you would agree. You have to do the same thing in your marriage, in your relationships, with your family, with your best friends. You have to be intentional and work at the relationship. Number 18, the 101% principle. And this is great. You just need to find the 1% that you agree on with somebody else and give that 1% 100% of your effort. And that's how you'll win with another person. Especially if you have somebody that you disagree with a lot of things on, there's got to be something, there's got to be one thing that you really can. Oh, you know what, guys, I think I might have to go plug up my computer. Hold on, let me see how much battery I have left. Okay, I'm good for right now. Those of you that are like 7%, no, you're not good. Oh, dang it. Hold on. You do have 1% always in common with somebody else, and you can find that, and then you can give that 100% of your effort. Number 19, the patience principle. The journey with others is slower than the journey alone. For those of you that are leading through other people, boy, you know this to be true. It's harder and it's slower, and you really have to develop patience. If you are leading a team, sometimes we think, man, we can just do it so much quicker on our own. And while that might be true, you can only go so far on your own. Number 20, the celebration principle. The true test of relationships is not only how loyal we are when friends fail, but how thrilled we are when they succeed. And this is so important for me. And actually, I'll give you a compliment back, Stephanie. I think you're really great at this one. You always cheer for other people's success. And a lot of people, you're welcome, don't do that, or they can't do that. And how great is it when someone's with you when something bad happens, but they're also like really with you when something great happens? It's probably one of the best feelings. And I love the celebration principle. Number 21, the high road principle. We go to a higher level when we treat others better than they treat us. And this is hard. Definitely hard. However, it really does work, and it really does pay off. And man, we do go to a higher level when we treat others better than they treat us. Number 22, the boomerang principle. When we help others, we help ourselves. The best example for me to give you of this is every time you go and volunteer, you're going to help other people. But when you leave, what happens? You feel amazing. Like you feel like you got filled up. And so that is the boomerang principle. And that is such a great way to think of when you are working on your mindset. Number 23, the friendship principle. All things being equal, people will work with people that they like. And even all things not being equal, they still will. And how much fun is it to work with people that you consider friends and you want to hang out with, right? It really is. And you win with them when you are a friend to them and a leader. And that's why I'm big on those of you that work with me know, like, I love retreats with us together. And I love for us to go learn together and do all those things and have bonding moments and have learning work moments, because it just feels so good to work with people that you like. Last two, number 24, the partnership principle. Working together increases the odds of winning together. When you really want to win with somebody, if you can work together with them, you really are going to win together. And there's so many examples of that. And then the last one is the satisfaction principle. And this is, in great relationships, the joy of being together is enough. And I really think that when we are working on our mindset and when we are dealing with other people in our mindsets, if we can find joy in just being together and having a great relationship, that's enough. You feel like that is enough. So I really want you to go back and reflect. And if you took notes, awesome. Would love to see in the chat which one really resonated with you. You can be honest and vulnerable, or on Facebook Live, you can put it in the comments. Which one do you really need to meditate over the next week, the rest of this week, to work on your mindset? Don't forget about the challenges. And then I want to leave you with this quote that I found that I really love. Everything in life starts with your mindset first, and then your actions second. Your actions follow your thoughts, your beliefs, and ideas. To make a shift, to free your energy, start with getting your mind right, and then take action. And that's why I just love doing these, because I truly feel that if we can really get our minds right, then everything else will continue to just fall into place. So if you liked that, message me or send me a text or send me a message or something and tell me which one was your favorite one. And we'll find a way to go back and post all of these in the Facebook group too. Thanks, Stephanie, for being here. I know Heather's driving, so thank you, Monica. So later we'll get them posted in the group, but hope you guys have a great rest. Hey, Nikki. She's on a walk, maybe. Hope you guys have a great rest of your week, and I'll see you next Wednesday. See ya. Bye, Steph. Bye.
Bye.